So.
I thought it was time I heard the stories for myself. And found out what happened to everyone else. But now I'm worried the stories themselves might be the problem. Maybe we believed so much in a family curse, we made it real.
Okay, es müsste jetzt eigentlich gehen von der Grafik wieder her. Hoffentlich.
I don't know if I should even be writing this.
So schnell noch einen Screenshot gemacht.
Maybe it'd be better if all this just died with me.
Simone. Also wir waren letztes Mal hier oben und dann habe ich dann jetzt schon beendet und jetzt geht's weiter.
But I thought you should know about your family. And the history you're a part of. Though to be honest, I feel as lost as you probably do right now. I think the people in these stories believed them, for what that's worth.
Ich sehe ja fast gar nichts hier draußen. Das ist auf der Treppe.
And when you look at the house, that history of imagination and stubbornness and madness, any of it seems possible. I think we've been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it. What kind of family finishes building a cemetery before starting the house?
Alles klar.
It's embarrassing for me to admit this, but the pet cemetery made me more uncomfortable than the human one. 3 of the gerbils were mine, and 2 had been my fault.
Alter. Das ist Christopher der Fisch. Schatzi. Ist die noch? Coco, Zucker. Die steht nicht drauf. Warum denn auch nicht? Bailey. Ein Frosch. Umgefallen.
Sven built the house, but it was Edie who designed the cemetery. I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edie's idea. My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edie, the past never went away. She could see it poking out of the water at low tide.
Oh. Was blinkt da hinten? Oh. Oh, geil. Hauptsache ich kann alles sehen, ne? Hä? Man sieht halt nichts. Was soll ich denn machen? Hä? Kann mir bitte jemand sagen, was ich hier machen soll? Ich komme nicht weiter. Ach, jetzt geht's. Okay.
Edie said she dreamed about the old house every night.
Ah.
Edie's side was always easier for me to understand. But the older I get, the more I can see where my... There's so many things I wish I could ask my mom now. Part of me thinks this is what she wanted all along. For me to come back someday. And find everything out for myself.
Hi, rote Color. Oh, okay.
But looking back on it now, if she told me there was going to be so much climbing, I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant.
Ja, so jetzt. Ich habe gar nicht gesehen, wo ich drauf gelaufen.
I never met Grandpa Sam, but I think he and my mom had a lot in common.
Das Licht brennt noch.
They were both pretty intense. Sam spent his life shooting photos, but Mom said he got nervous being in front of the camera. I guess we're all afraid of something.
Dawn, I promise, you'll never forget this weekend.
Yes, sir.
These memories are gonna last a lifetime.
Hmm?
Oops, sorry.
Am I gonna have to shoot anything?
It's a hunting trip, Dawn. Shooting is strongly encouraged.
What?
Ah, jetzt.
early, Dad.
Perfect.
It's gonna rain the whole weekend, isn't it? Please just
Oof.
take the damn picture.
Hey, language.
I will never forget this weekend, Dad.
That's
Ach,
the
ach hier,
spirit.
das steht. Kann ich sehen. Eigentlich wollte ich das Auto
Did you want to
fotografieren.
get a picture of me or what?
Okay.
Smile, Dawn. Okay, got it.
I'm gonna take some pictures, okay?
Just be careful. That camera's older than you are.
You're right, Dad. It's starting to clear up. Still freezing, though.
So.
Aw.
Das wird ein Schaf, Mann. Von was soll ich denn ein Foto machen? So vielleicht, ne. Ich glaube, das war, wofür du nicht, was du nicht spielen würdest, weil du dafür viel zu unruhig bist. Hä?
Definitely should not have drunk all that coffee.
Davon vielleicht? Was soll ich denn jetzt für Foto? Ach,
Nothing
wow.
quite like being outside.
Hold still while I take a picture of you.
Hey!
That's a keeper.
Paul.
A little more gas in the tank, I guess. I'm just saying, I'm not always gonna be here, Don. You'll need to remember this stuff, if you want to survive.
I'll be fine, Dad.
You know who else thought he was gonna be fine?
Some guy who died.
Don, I'm being serious.
I know, Dad. You're always serious. Doesn't being out here make you want to chill out?
Well, to tell you the truth, I haven't been out here in 20 years. Don, don't you think you could find something more interesting to photograph?
Nö.
You don't need to waste any more film on me, kiddo. Last time I was with my brother Calvin. Man, that was a great trip.
Mann,
Grandpa Sven taught us how to fish, how to build a fire. We found an old logging trail. There were deer everywhere. I bet if I could remember where that trail was, we'd spot a buck for you in no time. Give me a minute to check the map. Let's see.
sag mal, was soll ich denn ein Foto machen? Leo?
Maybe.
Oh, am Ende steht hier vielleicht irgendwo hinten so irgendjemand im Wald oder so.
Or was it? It could have been.
Junge, Mann. Oh. Nee. von dem hier. Bitte. Ey. Nee, es rast gleich aus, ja. Ups. Ah. Nee. Hä? Ey, Mann.
Dad!
Good eyes, Don.
Oh Mann, wow. Hauptsache da.
Before you take the shot, let me get a picture of you.
Dad, I...
Just breathe. Turn off your imagination. Focus on your target.
Hä? Das ist ja gar nicht entschieden.
Let me get behind you.
Do I have to do this?
Don, you don't have to do anything.
Bumm.
Great shot, Don!
Alter. Maschine. Selfie time.
I'm proud of you, Don. Always remember that, okay?
Oh, okay.
Sorry, Don. Just gotta reset the timer.
Renn. Ach hier, wow.
Dad, it's twitching. I think
That's
it's
totally
still...
normal, Don. Just focus on the camera. Try not to think about...
Dad!
Okay. Das war's
Of
leider
all these
komplett.
stories, that's the one I wish most that my mom had told me.
Alles klar. Okay. Die beiden sehen ja komplett anders aus auf dem Foto. Deswegen stellt man sich nie neben dem halbtoten Hirsch eine Klippe. Deshalb haben mir immer meine Eltern beigebracht. Eigentlich nicht. Wo kommt das her? Komisch.
After Sam died, my mom and Edie got really close. They'd both lost a lot.
Oh nein. Es ist eine Puppe da hinten. Wow. An das ist ein Bild.
can't imagine my mom ever writing poetry, and yet...
Ich komme erstmal zu dem Bild hier. Das ist der Geschichte von Gregory, dann geht es der von Gas.
Dear Kay, do you remember the way Gregory used to laugh when he thought he was alone? Like something funny was happening, but only he could see it.
Oh God.
I think he saw things the rest of us don't.
Oh God. What the fuck?
Time's over, Gregory. It's time to... Hold on, sweetie. Hello?
Oh God.
Sam,
Warte.
I told you I don't want to talk right now.
I wonder what he saw. What his world was like. He reminded me so much of Calvin. Lost in his imagination. Whatever it was, he saw.
Junge, was ist das für ein Spiel? Stapelchamp.
Sure made him happy.
Ich habe nur einen Follower dafür bekommen. Ach, du musst da oben. Ah, okay. Komm jetzt hier rauf. Jetzt mal hoch.
I know how silly it sounds.
Ha.
That I worried about a baby being too happy. But I could feel him slipping away.
Sorry about that, Gregory.
I know you did everything you could. Maybe if I hadn't called that night.
Damn it. Hold on, I don't want Gregory to hear this.
I wish he could have told us. About the world.
Noch mehr.
There's so much I don't understand. About
Oh
Gregory.
Gott.
About everything. But I know what happened wasn't your fault. Good luck, Kay. Love, Sam.
Oh, süß. So, was geht's hier mit Gas? Warum ist Dorn nicht da? Muss ich nicht verstehen.
A poem for Gus, who always said the wedding was a bad idea. Our father never hit us kids, at least not very hard.
Oh ja, das kommt, das
Before the
ist
day
cool.
my brother said with teenage disregard that he'd be dead before he'd see a wedding in our yard.
Auf die Leute, ja! Oh Mann. Und der Bomber. Ah. Okay, da durch die Map durch. Da muss ja ganz dringend los.
My father made him come, of course, but Gus stood far apart, just flew his kite and bottled up the storm inside his heart. I tried to talk him out of it, but though he'd never met her, we don't need a stepmom were the words that I
now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride.
So, die Frage ist, was muss ich jetzt hier machen? Ah, wow, hier, okay.
When the time for photos came, Dad ordered him to come here. But Gus declined and as a sign held up his middle finger. The wind picked up and panicked geese appeared and quickly went. But all the humans did that day was go inside the tent. The rain came down in buckets then, but no one seemed afraid that nature might destroy the tent our dad had crudely made.
Alter! Junge!
The thunder sounded much too close and full of angry power. But all my father said to this was, "Make the music louder."
Ich bin Tor! Ja! Und jetzt alles auf dem Boden. Nach oben und auf dem Boden. Bumm. Komm und runter.
I wish that I could truly say I
Alter.
thought about you on that day. Out there on the beach alone, just you, the wind, the sea and foam. But I didn't. Until we found you.
Alter.
She never talked about him, but Mom told me once if I was a boy, they were going to name me Gus.
schon so richtiger. Ja, so ein richtiges Wort mit Kitty ist das ja. Oh, okay.
My mom moved up to the loft after her brothers died.
Ach, scheiße.
At the
Sorry.
time, it was
Sorry,
as far
Absicht.
away as she could get.
Genau. Er klettert den jeden Tag hier rauf und runter, nur um schlafen zu gehen. Nein, nein, nein. Nach oben. Alter.
My mom moved to India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English. She spent a summer building houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay.
Sanjay.
Louis was born a year later. When my dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go. I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back. The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that. And for a while, things were good. Almost normal. But it didn't last.
Ah, ein Projektor. Cool. Schon ein bisschen moderner hier oben in der guten Stube hier.
The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle. After Milton disappeared, the only thing he left behind was a room full of paintings.
Ah, hier ist das Fenster. Komm jetzt hier. Dann. Machen wir das Fenster wieder zu. Nein, nicht raus, um das Fenster zu machen. Mach einfach. Ah, jetzt ist. Unten ist der Berg, da ist das Haus und da oben ist die Statue. Da sind Bäume dazwischen. Und die Musik ist ganz schön laut.
I think Edie was happy to finally have another painter in the family.
Lull. Was? Hä? Warte mal. alles klar. Da muss ich ganz dringend los.
Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush.
Wollen wir nochmal. Wie groß ist das denn?
I was 4 when Milton disappeared.
Alter, ob der einfach verschwand, weil er das was in die Tür gezeichnet hat.
Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors. Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out. Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Louis blamed himself. After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room, until Mom got him a job at the cannery. Everyone always told me to stay out of Louis's room. Except Louis.
Am Ende wird er bestimmt auch noch sterben. Wie ich gerade spiele. Oh, Scheiße. Das bringt ja ganz schön viel, das Ding. Ah. Ne, macht es wieder zu? Nein.
Louis's room smelled very, very familiar. That part of him lived on.
Junge, what the fuck? Ey, nein, 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 nein! Nein, geht dann nicht wieder raus. Ich hab da gar nicht nach vorne gedrückt. Komm jetzt. Ohne was zu drücken.
He was so proud of being Indian. I think for him, it was a way to be something other than just a Finch. Lewis and I spent a lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot.
Aber auf was habt ihr gespielt? Ja, auf irgendwie Wonderland Turbo, ja, aber ist dann nicht mal hier ist nicht mal ein Fernseher oder irgendein Monitor. Die haben sich einfach nur vorgestellt, dass wir spielen.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Lewis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life. He kept working at the cannery, but he withdrew part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to wander.
Oh, whoa, what the fuck?
I asked him to describe it. He said he started small.
Junge, ich bin multitasking fish. Woo!
He'd feel his way about. Then something moved. Bats. And toads.
Kann ich hier nicht hoch? Ach so, ja.
And things that have not names. He knew it was all in his head. But he took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself. But he found something more.
Whoa.
I worried about him then.
3D.
Daydreaming at the cannery. I spoke with his boss. But he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused. Like a whole new Lewis. So I let him go on. I even encouraged him. It seemed very promising at first. He told me he'd made a new friend.
Oh, ein Hundi!
On the edge of a city he named Lewis Topia. He built the city up slowly, brick by brick.
Minecraft, toll.
Then he made musicians. And songs for them to play. He talked about starting a band.
Alter.
And he was always humming something. Every day his imagination grew stronger. He no longer spoke at the cannery. But his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination. so he could do whatever he wished. He held an election for mayor. And he won. They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him.
Oh, war das anstrengend gerade. Ach nee, muss auch näher. Komm bitte.
He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on.
Kannst du so fahren? Nee. Ich muss gerade ausfahren.
New Louisville.
Oh no. Oder ich will gucken, was passiert, wenn ich gegen den Stein fahre.
St. Louis.
Ah, nichts. Nichts, okay.
He started drifting away from our reality. Minneapolis, until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery. Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Louis kept sailing on.
Ah!
In Louisburg, he heard rumors of a beautiful prince.
Er wird schwul. Pommes.
The prince was on his own quest for
Chat, was soll ich nehmen? Schnell! Chat! Oh nein, nein, was stimmt das?
radiant rainbows.
Au. Ja, tschüss. Tschüss.
He followed the sound of his
Chat, was soll ich nehmen, Chat? Silber, scharfe, was? Oder elektrische, keine Ahnung. Links oder rechts, links oder rechts. Ich würde dann irgendwie schon. Ja, kann man schon nicht.
electric sitar.
Chat, was soll ich als nächstes nehmen? Soll ich dieses Mal links oder rechts nehmen?
His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon.
Okay.
Even then, his logic remained sound. He knew the world was all in his imagination.
Ey, Leute, wartet mal mit den Fischen hier. Wartet doch mal. Ich muss vielleicht erstmal die ganzen Fische wegbekommen. So. Ups, nein. Leute. So, jetzt. Hi, Joker.
But he was so proud of having created it. In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king.
Junge. Kann ich reingehen? Nee.
For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming. And then it struck him that the real Louis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace.
Junge. Es geht um jemanden, ein Mädchen, das weil die gerade Familie gestorben ist und sie will herausfinden, warum und ja. Es ist
My
halt fast das Ende.
imagination is as real as my body, he told me.
Also ich kann jetzt auch nicht wirklich sagen genau, um was es jetzt hier geht. Also
It was hard to argue
trotzdem
with
danke,
him.
dass du in den Stream reingekommen bist. Und sie erzählt sagen immer Geschichten, die die Familienmitglieder über die anderen geschrieben haben. Und es ist jetzt jemand, der hier in einer Soßenfabrik arbeitet und sich halt alles vorstellt. Und jeder von den einzelnen Mitgliedern stirbt dann in einer Geschichte halt immer. Bin ich schon wieder hier in dem Bunker drin? What the fuck?
We began to forget the world we know.
Oh.
I think it pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker. He began to despise the man with a royal contempt.
Oh Mann. Hä? Was bin ich denn? Ach, ich bin der König. Oh, okay.
I still thought I could save him. Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder. The palace would be packed with his companions.
Die machen mir Angst. Guck nicht so.
Including the wise Calico who'd insisted on advising him. His prince waited, holding his crown. There was only one thing left to do. Bend down his head.
Tschüss. Da ist die Tür. Ist mir egal, ich gehe jetzt einfach. Aber bevor ich gehe, mache ich die Musik leiser. Die immer noch genauso laut ist. Kappa. Ist gut. Egal. würdest du auch gern, ne? Du musst gar nicht mit Kommen zu gucken. Ah, Mann. Bin ich blöd. Egal. YOLO. YOLO. Nein, nein!
And the rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
Ah, ich glaube, das war dieses mit dem Fisch schneiden, das Ding. Oder das sich drunter gedingst hat.
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
So, an der Stelle beende ich den Stream. Da geht es schon, ist schon Überlänge. Da geht es schon seit fast einer Stunde. Mhm. Klar, eigentlich müsste es schon. Okay. Also an der Stelle beende ich den Stream und morgen kommt der nächste Teil hoffentlich. Also der 4. Das wird aber schon der letzte sein, weil ich es dann durchspielen werde. Ach, das ist ekelhaft, ja. Doch. Ja, doch, an der Stelle werde ich den Stream beenden. Und ja. Ich gehe jetzt schlafen. Ja. Morgen kommt ein nächster Teil. Und tschüss. Und liken und kommentieren. Und abonnieren und Socken inhalieren. Danke.